recording now. Everybody's sound is good. Everybody's video looks fine. All right, so we'll start in 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? It's the bros here from Gold Dang Bros Gaming, the Lucky Draw Podcast, episode number 37. We got one of the bros with us over there, Timothy Tipton, joining for a little bit here to show off some of his ambassador stuff from FCBC. As we talked about last time, the bros are powered by FCBC. We are receiving our first shipment here pretty soon. We'll have them by Vegas or Brazil, whichever one you'll see us at, and we'll be repping FCBC. But what's going on, Tiger? How's your day been?
My day's been fine. I've been taking it a little easy today. Nothing crazy. Didn't have any coaching. Didn't have any. I didn't hop in any online tournaments. Just casual day
Chilling
today.
day.
Just excited. Not quite as excited as Tim is, but I'm pretty excited to see what comes in this box.
Yeah. So, Tim, how's your day been, bud? We got no sound on you at all, Tim.
That's all right. I fixed it.
There you go.
So I just got off work. I a little bit. I guess I don't know. Talk about it a lot. So I'm a teacher now. So that's why my season's been a little bit smaller. It's hard. But I've been making it work, and I'm ready for Vegas. I'm ready to actually. And yeah, I mean, other than that, it's been doing pretty good today. Ready to hit the gym.
Is that right? Yeah, I did yesterday. I know I sent you some pictures. I know Planet Fitness is normally a hangout, but let me tell you, not the workouts I'm doing there. But on the Pokemon stuff, we got Brisbane and Gdansk this weekend. We've been running our tournaments. We see a big uptick of Pult and Gardevoir. We'll get to a little bit of that later as we talk about the meta and Lucky Draw 31 and 32. But Tim has some really good news he's really excited to share. So I'm not going to hold him back any further. Pass the mic to him and let him show off his ambassador stuff.
Yeah, so I switched the camera around. Give me a second to get it nice and situated so it doesn't fall off because my stand is not the greatest. All right, there we go. So yeah, I was picked up for the ambassador program. So for all the people who have just been seeing the kits lay around, the first thing you get is this really sick playmat. And it is a nice, very nice playmat. Let me get it all in shot for everybody, right? So it is a 10 out of 10 playmat, double stitched, very, very nice playmat. The next thing they do, they just said, you know what? Here's a couple packs. Oh, wait, that's not enough. Here's some more. Oh, is that not enough? Here's some more. Here's a bunch of play.
10 different boxes, I count, maybe?
Looks like 2 of every color.
Yeah, there are a bunch of different colors. Now, the cool thing about the sleeves, the whole point of being the ambassador, is an ambassador for the sleeves. So are we making money from it? No, we're ambassadors for the sleeve company. We're going out there repping the sleeves, showing them how much we love the game. And they're giving back to us in some ways. Sometimes we might do things for them, and they're helping us out. And they're giving us sleeves to help us out, too, which I really appreciate. The next thing they gave us, really cool mat tube for the play mat. Then last but not least, this really nice binder. Ooh. And we could have picked any color we wanted. I told them to surprise me. Just because I'm like, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun with it. Brian's a really great guy. Rose Pokes got their cup coming up in a few months. But essentially there's that for everybody. But essentially the whole point of this ambassador program really is to be an ambassador for the sleeves. It's a lot different than saying, a sponsorship, making money from it. It's more really about really showing what FCBC is all about. And that's what I really like. A lot of the stuff I do and I want to do for the community is about making the community better. And what I love about FCBC here is this is really about making the community better by showing them products that are great and are actually really good. Like even this binder here, I've been using this blue Pokemon binder, and it's about the same size for like the last few months. And this binder alone here, it's just really, really nice. It's a really nice 4-pocket binder. And overall, just really, really good quality. That's what I like. And then again, the sleeves, the whole reason I like the sleeves, and that I'm excited, the Gold Dang Bros are powered by FCBC. Again, the people behind it and the sleeve quality itself. And no hate to Dom. Dom, you're one of my favorite guys I've met in the last few years, especially working with sleeves. So no disrespect to Dual Spec either. There are great sleeve companies out there, but you know what? I'll rock these any day of the week.
Agreed. I mean, that's what we've been primarily using for the last few weeks, ever since we went up to Rose Poke. And Brian was gracious. We talked to him, kind of got things rolling. He was knee deep into the ambassador program. They were still making selections, so he had a lot going on, but he finally got back to us. And yeah, the bros will be getting their first case very soon. We'll have some going out for our tournaments as prizes. We'll be at tournaments giving some out. That's the whole idea of an ambassador. A lot of people were looking at this as a sponsorship, or oh, they pay you. That's not what it's all about. Sometimes in the world of sports and even our trading card game, sleeves are a necessity. Right, Tiger? You need sleeves to play in the tournament, correct?
100%.
I mean, so without sleeves, you can't compete. You want quality sleeves, and FCBC is definitely quality sleeves that last durably for a long time.
Absolutely. And as a team, the whole point for me too, and I'm a little bit of a shill. I'm from Ohio, so I can be like, you know what? I'm from Ohio. I can say, oh, I want these sleeves. I'm an Ohio guy all day long. But even then, I was there's a post on Twitter the other day about Dragon Shields all being bowed out and diswarped. I get that every single time.
Get that monsters sponsorship. No, and then Dragon Shields. I mean, no hate on
Right.
no hate on Dragon Shields either. But like lately, as a judge at tournaments, I've had issues with people buying a box, sleeving their deck up, and literally half of them being different shades.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
What is it? I know one of my favorites when I was using Dragon Shields was the Valor Dual Mats. And you'd open up a pack, and it's like 4 shades of off-white. And I'm like, cool, I wasted $15.
Yeah, you got to mix and match and go and try to do. I have 60 of the same exact shade, and is a couple of these off, and your opponent notices, and it's like, I didn't mean to. And even as judges, we know this is happening.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do.
Now this also might be a silly thing that other people don't like, but something I also really appreciate is all just comes in one pack. Because some problems I've had with other sleeve companies, when they come in separate packs, so like katanas, they come in separate packs. You'll have shading issues between the separate packs. Whereas, you have one cohesive pack of sleeves, so typically there's no issues in coloring or mismatch. Just one nice stack. Also, the boxes are form fit, so like when they're in there. Again, with the Dragon Shield, they give you that extra box, but that's also because their mindset is, oh, now you have a box that you can put your deck in and throw it to the side. But what ends up happening with the weather and all that, they start to warp, and they have a lot of issues with that.
No, I agree. A lot of people I've known use those boxes for old decks, or Landon, I believe, used them for retro decks and had all the decks from all the years and wrote on it. It's perfect for that. But, I mean, nowadays everybody has a deck box that they use. You know what I mean? They have something more sturdy.
Yeah, and Tim, you brought up a good point. I didn't even think about that. Like, what is it, like in-game, and I think Dual Spec does it. They do the split packs inside the box. I never really thought about how much that potentially, when they're on the assembly line, if one person grabbed from one batch and one from another batch, they could come out 2 different shades. But if they're all in one set pack, that's from the exact same set.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
The company that I see that does it the most is Katanas. I believe Dual Spec has switched to the single packs. I've seen both from them. The only thing I don't really like about Dual Specs, I don't like their dual matte sleeves particularly, because they're very tight. And so I've had some issues with, and again, I'm rough on shuffling. So they aren't the greatest for me with shuffling, mostly because I don't riffle or anything. They're great for riffle shuffling. They're dual mats. But for like mass shuffling, they catch on the corners a lot easier and they tear easier for that. So especially if you accidentally turn a card the other way, that's where I've caught them. And it might have just been a bad batch. I've talked to Dom about it. Dom put the word out to Dom to let him know what was going on with them for me. Again, he's been super receptive, helped me out, gave me a couple packs as comp when they started ripping like that and stuff. So again, and I used them all the way through and through. It's just I don't like how tight they are going in. I do prefer a little bit looser sleeve. And I'm not saying these are loose sleeves, but I like a little bit more room for my cards.
Oh, I understand. I mean, there's definitely the different types of sleeves out there. So,
and for no way for anybody watching this as a Dual Spec fan, are we bashing Dual Spec? No. We are just comparing and talking about things that we do and don't like about all sleeves. So do not think this
Yeah.
is us bashing your favorite set of sleeves.
I mean, for the last 3 years, it's been sleeve caulk, no matter what company it has been, because that's what our life's been, shuffling cards. So
Well,
it
like
makes
for
sense.
example, Dual Spec has. I love. They have that rose gold sleeve. Let me go grab them. Actually, I actually have a deck sleeved up with them.
While he's doing that, we can go ahead and talk about some of the favorite colors we've had of other things. I know, personally, when I was using Dragon Shield, my 2 favorite was the Blue Silver Anniversary and the new Blossom Dual Mat, which is pink and black on the inside. Most people that know me know that I'm a fan of pink.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, green is always my go-to, but I like to match the sleeve with the card arts. I think that really makes me feel better about the cards when I'm like, yeah, about 60% of these cards look really good in blue because of the background and the arts I chose, and that's a lot of the reason why I pick color sleeves.
All right, so I have I want to show off the color differences, and again, it really does come down to like preference too. So what you're going to see with these FCBCs, they don't have as much of a glare to them on the back either. You know, they have a really good matte finish. So the nice standout feature I really do like about the Dual Specs, for example, this nice rose gold color, right? And it has that nice sheen to it. Again, they still shuffle really, really well. And I'd recommend them to anybody that wants to use them. Again, I would say these sleeves are definitely better for riffle shuffling. I do not know how to riffle shuffle to save my life.
Oh,
so I'm not even going to try to
teach
do it.
you. We're going to put them through boot camp like we did with Brent.
That's the best I can do when it comes to riffle shuffling, right? So again, I'm a mass shuffler, so I'm really hard. So if you look at my sleeves, the biggest issue I have here, I'll even find one right here. This happens to all my sleeves. This right here.
Yeah. If you can't see it, right there in the middle of Tim's screen, it happens all the time. I mean, as long as it's not egregious, it's usually pretty good. But like as time goes, that bend keeps catching, and next thing you know, it's almost half bent over. It's a good idea to definitely take a look.
That's not the disadvantage of Dual Spec. That's the disadvantage of looser sleeves in general. So that's why Dual Spec made the tighter sleeve. So again, I'll have that same issue with these sleeves too. But again, the biggest reason I'm going here, 3 reasons. 1, they're a great company. Brian's a great guy. 2, I'm a little biased. I live in Ohio. I can't really complain too much. And I'll even throw this out there. This was one of my one thing. They invited me to a party in California, and they didn't have to do that. They're all about bringing people in the community together. And these ambassadors that we have in this group, they're all from different size channels or follower counts. It's not someone. It's like I have 1,000 people following me, sure, but like there are people in there that are way more noticeable. Like Dan's in there, so Jan Pachi, I believe, might be in there. I'm not 100% sure, but again, there's so many people that are like up there, and it's great.
Tyler. Was it Tyler Price?
Yeah.
Yep. He's on there. I just saw it on Twitter.
And again, it at the end of the day, it comes down to comfort. Heck, I know people who shuffle up Ultra Pros.
Yeah.
I loathe the people who do it, but you know what? That's their choice. This is what we're gonna rock. I think and again, it's because they put their money back where their mouth is, and they really do care about their customers and client base, and I really care about them. So yeah.
Awesome. So there you have it. And either way, you're going to be covered in FCBC because the team has them anyways. So it's just doubling up and helping it even more.
Yeah.
So,
and that's not even the only person I've had an opportunity to be sponsored by. They're just the first one that's really given me this ambassadorship to really promote it. I actually just talked to one of my former sponsors a couple days ago, Austin Evans. So I'm still on communication with him. So he will show him off his he got a promo. I'll send Bucko the picture up here, and he can maybe show it. But I gave him one of the competition cards, the promo cards, and he got it graded. He got a PSA 8 on it.
Yes,
he's got it displayed in his office.
Yeah, I'll throw it right in here.
The Paradise Resort, yeah. And then just saying, with even how rough I am on my cards, my Gardevoir SIR came back a PSA 9. So just saying, please do help.
Not the way I shuffle. I got to start passing his Saraledge back over before the bend's permanent.
Yeah. We shuffle 2 different directions, Sean and I. I'm a long ways riffler, and he is a sideways riffler.
Yeah.
But he snaps his cards a little harder than I do.
Especially when I get deep in thought. I was trying to be a little softer. But aside from the sleeve talk, we do have 2 big tournaments coming up this weekend. Not in the United States, but the meta will still affect how Vegas plays out. So we have Brisbane and Gdansk on this weekend, both at the same time, Saturday, Sunday. Not sure they should have streams, correct?
Gdansk should. I don't know if Brisbane will because it's in Australia.
Yeah, that's true. And the timing would probably be a little bit crazy. Well,
yeah.
I mean, the timing on Brisbane
They'd be about the
is
same.
going to be about. But yeah, so we're going to have a lot of stuff going on from there. I know Tiger, he's going to be watching it like crazy. He always does. And we'll have more to cover from that. But Guardy and Dragapult seem to be the 2 contenders that are showing up everywhere. I know we got Guardy bot Tim over there, and I know Tiger's been playing Dragapult, so why don't we go ahead and do it this way? Tim, why don't you say why you think Guardy's in a good spot, and then we'll give Tiger to say why he thinks Dragapult's in a good spot. That should be an interesting.
Well, I actually think Dragapult's in a weird spot because it just won the most recent tournament, right? Okay. So everybody's going to be gunning for Dragapult because meta's ebb and flow. So we had this shock factor for the Absol box last week or so, and I think that put Guardy on the radar that it needs to again be reminded that there are dark decks that it has to be teched for again. So that's where the Jelly Guardy can struggle a little bit against some of these dark decks. Again, you have to play it a lot more carefully. What I've noticed with Gardevoir is the people who can play Gardevoir now, they're the people who can be very analytical and can think about their moves, right? Gardevoir used to be a very, very much robotic deck. Get your Gardevoirs in play, you win. It's not like that anymore. It's a lot harder of a deck to pilot. So you'll see a lot of Gardevoir players who have played it struggle, even making tournament placements or even doing well with it because it's not Gardevoir anymore. It is very much a control lead box, stall out the game. Again, very different strategies, right? There are still some comeback versions out there. People are still trying to play it the same way. It's very, very difficult. Going into these tournaments, again, I still think Guardy's going to be a strong presence in the meta. So if it goes up against Jellicent, if you go Jellicent versus regular Guardy, obviously Jelly Guardy's going to come out on top. But if we see the strong dark presence again, like we did in the U.S., but we didn't really see that over in this last regional in Europe. So I don't know necessarily what we'll see that way. Again, they do favor Dragapult over there. So again, it's just how we're playing against Dragapult, especially Dragapult's playing Badoo. Badoo versus Guardy. If Gardevoir struggles to get set up, it just kind of slows down. That's when I think more about should we be playing more towards like how Henry Chow played it or how Rowan Stevanov played it. Rowan still kept the air balloon in his build, whereas like Ian didn't have air balloon in his Jelly Guardy build that he played and got top cut with, right? So that's something else to consider.
And then I know it's a little bit of both, but same thing goes for you. A little lead more on Dragapult, but go ahead and weigh in on Guardy as well.
I personally think that Dragapult is in an awkward spot, like Tim said. It has the best matchup spread out of any deck in the format right now, but it loses to Guardy 95% of the time. Now, the problem with that, like Tim said, that sometimes a Badoo can stick and that can just win you a game. But in general, if Guardies are going to develop and reform to deal with the big dark Pokemon and realize that Pult's a threat again, we might see a shift of it. Because we have 3 or 4 different ways to play Guardy right now. We've got Get Big, Swing Hard, Drifloon, Mega Guardy. We have Jelly Guardy. We have the comeback, Devo Spread Guardy. And we have I Wish I Was Dragapult Guardy with the Quad Monkey for like 5 dark energies.
I wish I was Dragapult.
So like
Dragapult at home.
Basically. All of these versions of Guardy are good Guardies. Don't think that I'm bashing on any Guardy. I personally think Dragapult is going to get targeted, like Tim said. But in EU, they don't know how to tech properly. I mean, for years we had Mew VMAX, and not a single person would want to throw a Drapion on their deck in Europe. So they do build differently than we do. Other than that, we're gonna be in a stale meta for about a month because we don't change until after LAIC, and that just means that we're gonna see probably a rotation of three decks taking over. Guardy will take over, I assume, Gdansk, because people will be saying, all right, Pult's a threat. And then if we want to throw Brisbane in there, it's probably going to be Guardy that wins it because Brent Tonnison's just not going to leave Australia, and he's going to win it with that. And then I could see Vegas having a strong Charizard presence because of Guardy coming back, and then all the things that beat Guardy kind of lose the Charizard.
All right. Strong call. I mean, the Charizard man always calls Charizard when it's up to it, but we have seen Charizard, like he said last episode, weave in and out of the meta when it's needed. I think Tim put it perfectly earlier. If you don't know about a trading card game, the meta ebbs and flows. It's not always the same thing is always on top. I have this conversation with people all the time when I tell them I do Pokemon, and they're like, oh, why don't you just play the best deck and get the best cards and it always wins? And I'm like, that's not how it works. There's more cards introduced, and people find different techs and different ways to beat things. So it's not as simple as, I got the best deck, I always win.
Think about Psyduck. I'll throw Psyduck out there. Everyone thought Psyduck was going to be in every deck that got played as soon as it released. No one's playing Psyduck. Like, we'll have, like, Apps will play Psyduck because it needs to, but Guardy has yet to tech. We don't see Gardevoir playing the Psyduck because as soon as Lily's Clefairy was released, it was realized that, oh, we actually don't need Psyduck.
You don't got to worry about it. It doesn't matter if the ghost can blow up or not because you've got the double, hitting them for weakness. That's
Guardy specifically is one that doesn't need it, but like Charizard, if you want any chance to beat it, you need it. If you want to be able to, Absol needs it because the Dusks will let Dragapult just overrun the 3-prizers. But other than like a few niche decks, some single prize stuff, some spread decks, the Duck doesn't see as much play as what people thought. There is one deck, and only one deck, that truly wants this card, and that is the Big Lizard himself.
We saw that with Badoo, though. We've talked about that in the past. Everybody was really scared of Badoo when it first came out, and then for the first couple tournaments, it wasn't really used. Now we see it as this Titan that slows everything down. I mean, we played a game yesterday. I got Badoo 3 times. My first 3 prize cards were knocking out a Badoo that he either brought another one out or relived that one again to item lock me. But needed to, for sure. It kept my Cerulege not doing anything. But at the same time, maybe that's the kind of impact it has. Maybe not now, maybe later.
Yeah. Because Dusknoir is not rotating. So we may see more Dusk decks after rotation when we get into that very beginning where people are trying to put whatever they can together because we're in the smallest card pool.
But aside from us just talking about these being the top 2, we do have some results from our own tournament, the Lucky Draw Weekly Series. So we're going to pop over to that.
You got to go.
All right, well, that's fine. If you got to go, Tim, thank you for hanging out and showing off your stuff. We'll see you next time.
Yep.
All right, so let's pop to our small screen. All right, so let me get back to the normal screen here because we were looking at stuff. We were checking out this Archaludon. Let's go back here. So many ads. So many ads. All right, so the first one we had Tuesday night, this was the Lucky Draw 31. As you can see here, this is the meta game, and as we did last week, I'll go ahead and let Tiger talk about the meta. And of course, our camera went out, so let me fix that first. There we go, we're back. It's all because Tim left. Tim caused it all. There, we're back.
All right, so we have at the most played deck, who would have thought, Dragapult Dusknoir. Just coming off its win in Lille, with about a 50% win ratio. Just that means that there's some people that knew what they were doing and some people that probably just picked it up. But that also brings up Gardevoir, because like we were just saying, Gardevoir beats Dragapult pretty consistently. So if the biggest threat is Pult, you're going to see a rise of Guardy. And what did that create? Number 3, Terrabox. Terrabox has a decent matchup into both because it has Wellspring to get rid of all the babies, has Clefairy to one-shot Dragapult, and some of them are weaving in some other guys like Mega Mawile so they can get a finishing KO on a Guardy or a Charizard and things like that, so that can have their effect there. Absol coming in strong at 4th does have a decent matchup into both of them, depending on what version of Guardy it is, and if the duck can stick. And then one of our fan favorites, Ceruledge. It has a good matchup into 3 of those top 4. And because of that, let's see how it sits in the standings.
Yep, so now we'll go to the standings here. Alright, so in first place, again, anybody's name that I butcher, I apologize. We got Mateus Mendez with a perfect 8-0 Pidgeot. I'm assuming that's control, yeah. And maybe we'll look at that in a second. In second place, we got Daniel Sopko, who's been a regular in our tournaments pretty recently with the Ceruledge. Most definitely going to take a look at that list here in a second. In third and fourth, we had Felipe and Leo running a Guardy and Crustle respectively. And then rounding out the top 8, you had Chandler, Jeremy, Oscar, and Harrison. And again, we see Pidgeot control, Archaludon, Charizard, your fave, and then a Guardy. So, Tiger, which one do you want to check out of that top 8 first?
Let's go ahead and hit the our winner. Let's go check this. See what they put into this control deck.
All right, so we'll open it as an image here. Let me scroll down.
Because just so you guys know, Pidgeot control is not super favored into Ceruledge because of just how straightforward Ceruledge is. It plays a Turo, plays a Palpad, plays 2 to 3 Jet Energies. So, like, these are things that we don't normally have to deal with for Pidgeot. Like, they don't have quite the ways to do stuff. So we have the Pidgeot line itself, the Elgyem, which is just an energy move. Its attack does let you move an energy from one Pokemon to another, so that's kind of one way they stall it, but Ceruledge has so many energies it doesn't really matter. The Milotic, I don't quite remember what the Milotic does, so let's get a quick on that real quick.
No problem. Your opponent's Pokemon in play and all cards attached can't be put in your opponent's hand.
Okay, so it's a Turo counter, or Penny counter, or Super Scoop.
There was actually a comment in the chat about someone who's like, funny how someone used Penny twice in this game trying to pick something up, realizing it didn't work. Now I see what they were talking about.
There they did.
Let's back out of there. All right. Open his image.
So yes, that is one of the ways that Ceruledge gets around stuff. So maybe they just they couldn't be able to get up and down with it, which does make a big factor. And then it plays the Psyduck line. It's also opting for the Golduck, and that's because it is a little bit bigger. So it does take 2 sets of Dragapult swings to KO it. It's not getting Pult plus Halucha for KO. Genesect stopping A-Specs, of course. Monkey Dory to help throw a little bit of damage back. And then we see some newcomers here. Pheasantipity, it is what it is. It's just Charles Cars. Tinglu. It's been popping up a lot in control decks recently. Frost-Ice Monkey Dory decks. Sander put it into his Frost-Ice Monkey Dory that he top 32 Lilled with. And what it does is your opponent's Pokemon that when this Pokemon is in the active, your opponent's non-EX Pokemon have no abilities. So what that does is cards like Monkey Dory or Frostlass, Klefki, things like that. When Tinglu's in the active, if those have damage counters, none of them have abilities, which then shuts off the throwing damage back and forth from Monkey Dory. Shuts off the ability to turn off his Pokemon because of the Tinglu. It turns off things like Baxcalibur or Dunsparce and all these random little engines that we see in decks.
Alright, so we'll get back one here. Of course. Internet loves me. Alright, so we get the Kangaskhan.
Kangaskhan, just a little extra draw power. It's kind of a wall. You can penny loop it while you're setting up the Dedenne electromagnetic charge or spark or something like that. It just lets you get a card from the discard back in your hand. Frillish is for item lock. Latias to move things around. Sudowoodo is a retreat lock, but it also has it is a fighting type, and its other attack, try to imitate. Flip a coin if heads, choose one of your opponent's active attacks and use it as this one. So say like Absolbox or Kangaskhan, you can use this Sudowoodo and try to imitate. If you flip heads, you will KO that 3 prize Pokemon using the Kangaskhan attack, because Kangaskhan is weak to fighting. So it hits for a flat 400 and then flip a coin for 100 apiece, basically. Now, for supporter range, it looks pretty normal for control. You've got search cards, you've got boss cards, Penny, Zerosix, lots of just random supporters. One thing you do see is the Lana's Aid doesn't get a whole lot of use, but if you're being Badooed or Jellicent and getting item locked, that does help reset some of these Pokemon that they have to use, because they do use a lot of one-ofs. Ruffian is one that we don't see a whole lot of normally in control, though. It removes a stadium tool or special energy card. So you can do that to get rid of some key pieces like mist energy, so things can be retreat locked. Gravity Mountain, handheld fan, more just generic control pieces to help withstand the game. And so it looks pretty normal, pretty generic, but it did end up being enough to win this event.
Yep, so we'll go back here and then go back one. And then the next one. So let's take a look at the second place. I feel like that's in order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll take a look at the Ceruledge. And we were talking about this one before we hopped on camera. So you guys can see exactly what we were talking about, because this is kind of very close to what we're actually running. So we have the Ceruledge. The only difference here is they run the 70s, whereas we run 380s and 170. The downside is you can't really move that one that's in the active. But the idea is if you can get Rock Start, much better. If you do start the Ceruledge, hopefully you find another one, and that's the first one to evolve. Churn those energies. That's all I got to say.
For the reason why I would choose the 80 is because in Mirror Match, you can't get KO'd by a Solrock unless they have a Vitality Band or a Power Potion. They have to do a whole lot more. And that's the key thing of what we wanted with that, is that it doesn't hurt the playability very much. But Devo play means they need 10 HP more on there, and you don't get KO'd by Fan Rotoms or Solrocks.
Yeah, the other stuff is pretty standard. I mean, the supporter line, we have a slight difference. We had a judge, took a judge out. We had 2 research, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is I was running the Drillbur for a while, which, don't get me wrong, it was kind of cool. I actually did double Drillbur one time, which was kind of sick, going up against another Ceruledge. Just kind of didn't win the match. It came down to the last swing, quite literally. But Blender is a better option. As much as I love the Legacy and it has saved me in the past, Blender is a better option. Getting those energies in the discard very quick. That way you can get to the 320, the 340 for the Mega Lucario, because there's been so many matches I've just been 1 energy off. Not that they're attached or whatever. It's still in the deck and I haven't been able to get it out.
Now, Blender versus Legacy is going to be based on what's good in the meta. And right now, with Dragapult and Gardevoir and these guys being extremely big Pokemon, we're not doing 2 for 2, 2 for 6 runs. We have to hit bigger. But let's say Raging Bolt or Ceruledge and Goldango and all these things pop up again where it's an Oko smaller HP fight, we would go back to Legacy for that. So your A-Spec can change based on how the meta's looking.
Alright, so we'll back out of this one and go back one. Hey, look, I figured it out. So one more deck list out of this. Top 8 here. Because I don't really see anything else. I mean, there's...
A Mammoth one's kind of cool, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Anywhere in the top 16.
Yeah, we can see what our Archaladon looks like real quick.
That was not the highest one.
Was it not the highest one? I just clicked the
You
first
just clicked the
Archaladon.
one you saw.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because you were on 10.
Ah, I see. Thank you very much. I just saw it.
So this is something we've been talking about. I'm looking more towards the poison version, but the regular Archaladon is very, very straightforward. I do what I want to do. I swing for 220. Hear me roar. Now, the addition of Mega Mawile has fixed a couple matchups for you. Because, Dragapult was always able to go around the Archaladons if it needed to. Charizard's was really bad for you because they just got to 2 prizes left and would Iono you to nothing, and then they could take 6 prizes over 3 turns because of KO for 1, you punch it, Turo it, KO with the other one, you punch it, and they just take the last 2 that way. It's just not it. Charizard was a very hard matchup for you, but this does give you a fighting chance to beat that. And the Hero's Cape making your Archaladon a 400 whopping HP, no weakness Pokemon is pretty nice.
I mean, that's untouchable by a Ceruledge. The way we built it.
With only 19 energy, you can KO it with 20.
So, yeah, you'd have to have the 20. Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So that gets that HP borderline really high up there. Sorry that the camera pops out whenever we switch over. It's because we're in where we had Tim pop in. So we'll get that fixed soon. Back out of this. And then now we'll go to the lucky draw number 32. That one just happened this morning. So quite literally at noon. And we just finished it before we started shooting. So as always, we'll go through the metagame first.
Hey, look. Dragapult Dusknoir was number 1 played.
Yeah.
Now, Charizard Pidgeot. So this one, it does be a little bit different because our noon... this is noon at EST, so Eastern Standard Time. So all of our players in the UK area and Europe and whatnot, this is more their time to play. And this is why we do see a little bit shifting difference. So we've got Dragapult as number 1. It did just win a Lil. Charizard at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Charizard's in a very good spot at the moment. And then Gardevoir number 3, Ceruledge number 4, and then Grimmsnarl at number 5. So basically the same top 5. Swap out a couple sets. But let's go ahead and jump into what our standings are.
Not a problem. So we'll go over here. So in first place we had Gerardo Navarro with a Guardy, perfect 7-0. And oh, hey there, Tiger. Do you see that? That's that name there. It look a little familiar.
Yeah, if you guys do know that my last name is Hickman. That second place person there, she has been trying so hard to make it onto one of our videos. That is my wife, Carly. She has been working and cultivating and us shopping her Hop Zacian deck for months now.
Upon months.
She wanted to play Grimmsnarl, didn't like how it worked, but wanted something a little bit more aggressive, so we kind of manscaped the Grimmsnarl into a Hop Zacian deck. So we're going to skip Gardevoir on this one, and we're going to go straight to the Hop Zacian deck and kind of explain how this works and why it's, in theory, an extremely good deck.
Plus, we have Mewtwo down there. Look,
We do have some good rogue.
I just saw that. So let me open this as an image while we're on this topic, and I can confirm that that they have been working on this deck for quite some time in order to get it rocking. Let me get back to there. Yep. So go ahead, Tiger.
All right. So we've got the standard hop package, a 2/2/2 of Zacian, Cramorant, and Snorlax. We've got the 3 Monkey Dories that you would see in regular versions as well. Now, the Blood Moon and the Iron Bundle is something you might see as well. It's the Frostlass parts of this deck is what completely changes the mindset of how this goes, because you early aggress with a Hop Zacian to pop a single prize and put 30 damage on something else, or potential donk. She did get 3 donks this event. That does happen in BO1 with aggressive decks. So the way it works is Hop Zacian does 30 to the active, 30 to the bench. Hop Snorlax makes all Hops Pokemon do an extra 30 to the active. Well, that's 60. Then the Hops Choice Band makes Hops Pokemon do 30 more to the active. We're at 90. Then Postwick is the stadium that makes them do an extra 30. So that means that this Hops Zacian on turn 1 could be poking for 120 for free because the extra effect of the Hops Choice Band is it reduces the attack's colorless cost by 1.
Yeah.
And its first attack is 1 singular colorless. So it means it attacks for free and gets to take a KO and spreads a little damage. Now you can combine that with a bundle because they got 2 Pokemon down. They have to save their one guy. All right, cool. Bundle to turn 1, instant boss on that little guy. Set them back behind. All right, so we've got our hop set up. We got a little bit of spread going. What's next is you've got to set up the Frostlass because what these Frostlass do is all these ability Pokemon, the Snorlax, the Munkidori, the Tatsugiri, starts accruing damage just like you would in the Grimmsnarl deck. But the difference is Cramorant. Mm-hmm. So Cramorant can only attack if your opponent has taken 2 prize cards or 3 prize cards, leaving them with 3 or 4. And what that does is Cramorant hits for 1 colorless for 120. Then you add the Snorlax, 150. You add the Choice Band, 180. You add the Stadium, 210. So it can body these basic support Pokemon and some things like Cornerstone, Teal Mask, any of the Ogre Pawns it can get. And while you're still doing that, a couple turns of Munkidori damage has been thrown in there. So we got 30 damage we can throw in there. Mm-hmm. Now Cramorant just hit 240. That one shot's a Raging Bolt. You got two monkeys. You throw that. That's now 270. That one shot's a Cerulege or a Goldango. So these numbers do ramp up really fast, and she can take time because she's playing this trolley that she can set up with an Arven on turn 1, which then lets her get all the Pokemon out. She can, if she starts the bear, she's got the penny to pick it up and get it out of the way. But now the bear is a very crucial clutch play of this deck because you've done all the spread, you've done everything you wanted, and then they go. They have 2 prizes left. You still only have 1 prize on the board. You Devo that turn. So you set them back a bunch. And they have to scramble to get set up. They put their 2 prizes back on there. They take some Frostlass ticks. They take the KO. Now you bear for free for game. Mm-hmm. Because everything's hurt. Everything's been scrambled. You board wiped half of it. They've got nothing to do. It's the same thing as what the traditional Frostlass Munkidori deck does. So we just took all the best aspects of a Hops deck, a spread deck, and a comeback mechanics of the Devo and Bear. Because you can go Bear, Penny, Bear if you needed to as well. Or Iono them, take a Bear KO. If they don't return, Jet Retreat, do the Bear again. So there is a lot of things going on with this that I could talk for hours about. But just go out and give it a shot, guys.
Yeah, deck list is on here. Like I said, on the Lucky Draw Weekly, you can find all the results and all these deck lists that we're talking about on the page. So let's go back one. So X out of here and then go.
So shout out to Carly, my wife, for her putting in the time, the effort, the work to getting second place in this event.
Well, I did it the backwards way again. So you guys are going on a trip.
And our favorite rocket ship going through the skies, little Einsteins.
All right, so let's see.
Yeah, you guys clip that, make a meme out of it, do whatever you got to do.
I think
the Goldang Bros singing their childhood songs.
We do it all the time. All right, so yeah, we talked enough about Guardy. I think we've talked enough about Goldango Lunatone.
But a 5th place Rockets Mewtwo, and it's only in 5th. Based on resistance.
That's crazy. So let's take a look at let's take a look at this list first. And then let me pop back. You can go ahead and talk. I'm just gonna pop back.
I'm just doing a quick look at what the list is. Now in general, Team Rocket's Mewtwo hasn't been doing a whole lot. And there's a couple cards in here that I'm not seeing of why I thought Team Rocket's Mewtwo would have been making a comeback. The new Wonder Patch that is able to be played on live right now does synergize really well with this Mewtwo deck. for those who don't know what Mewtwo does,
My coffees.
it's a base 180, and then you can discard up to 2 energies off the bench to do an extra 50 for each one. And so what the Wonder Patch does that just came out in the Deontay box that you can buy on Live is you can attach. It's basically Psychic Dark Patch. You can attach a Psychic Energy to a Psychic Pokemon on your bench, whether it be the Wobbuffet or the Mewtwo, the Mimikyu that they have in here, and that lets you chain energies faster. So you don't always have to have 3 to 4 Spidops on the board. You can chain with the Wonder Patches. The Spidops, it's 1 Grass, 1 Psychic, hits 30 plus 30 for each, or 30 times all the Rocket Pokemon you have. The Sneasler, whatever it is, he can snipe the bench. Wobbuffet is a damage transfer. And then Mimikyu, which is popping up in more than just Team Rocket decks, copies Terra Pokemon.
Yep. That's crazy. Copying a Terra attack.
So at the end of the game, like after, let's use Charizard. Charizard ramps damage all the way till the final prize card, which then lets it hit for 330. So you go Mewtwo, Spidops. They've taken 5 prizes. Boom. Mimikyu for 2 because you slapped the Rocket's energy and copied Charizard.
This is one that I don't see as very good right now, but in the future, everybody was looking at these trainer types and was like, oh, which one's going to be best? It's going to be Ethan's, it's going to be Iono's, and 2 that I think are going to pop out are going to be the Mewtwo, the Team Rocket, just because of all the help it has. It has the most help out of all the trainer decks, and we've been talking about Bolt. Iono's Bolt will be good.
The Iono's Belly Bolt with Raging Bolt does seem like it could have a spot after rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I do think this is going to be, Team Rockets is going to be a little less now because we had a few cards reprinted that we shouldn't have had. Boss's Order and Research should not have been reprinted. And that would have made this deck shine a lot harder.
Yeah, because you have the cards that are Team Rocket specific that do those things.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's forethought there. I mean, of course, we never know what's going to stay in and what's not. So, it's just all on the letters. All right, so back to this. All right.
Congratulations to Mr. Shibuya.
Shibuya. And thank you for using a decent name. I know some people down here are using crazy names. Makes it a little easier for us to talk about you.
Yeah.
At least use this, nothing crazy. So, I mean, not really seeing anything else. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Dragapults, but that goes with the percentage. But back to what you said, just because they're playing Dragapult, I mean, this is more so what he said to me. Just because they're playing Dragapult doesn't mean that it's going to be they're playing at the best. Because everybody's picking up Dragapult right now.
A lot of people, right after an event happens, because they don't want to... They want to modify their natural skill with a better deck. So, if I take the best player in the world, or let's just use... If I take Tord and give him Festival Lead, and then I take Joe Schmo's 5-year-old kid and put him on Dragapult, Tord's probably still going to win that with Festival Lead, even though the matchup is abysmal. Because the 5-year-old's not going to play Dragapult to its max potential, but Tord will play Festival Lead to its max potential.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same thing. And if you put, let's say we put Stefan Ivanov on Guardy, and then we put Andrew Hedrick on Dragapult. They're both extremely good players, maxing out the potential of these decks. So we're going to give it to Stefan because he's on Guardy, which is favored against it. So it's the same principle.
Yeah.
That when you're on the same level, deck makes a difference. If your levels are like this, deck does make a difference, but this person's level can compensate for the deck gap.
Yep. Hopefully that makes sense. Another way to think about it is like we've been talking with the Ceruledge. That's been my running play for me as a player in LAIC. I really like how it runs. Goldango doesn't really play right now, in my opinion, so I feel like it's better. But I'm at this point where I'm probably going to choose Pult or Guardy. I hate to be that person, but I like Cerulege, but the better players can eat Cerulege alive. So I might get through to a good bit of matches, have some fun and stuff like that. But if I really want to push far or get my 4 wins, that's what I'm going for. I'm probably going to have to play one of those 2 in order to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the truth of the game. But that's our recap on the Lucky Draw Weeklies. Again, if you haven't heard about them, they're online tournaments on the Limitless Tournament Operating System. They're free. Weeklies are free. Even our quarterly that's set for December 30th is free. Let's make it big. Get 300-400 people in it. I mean, I'll tell you, I'll put right now, if we get more than 500 people, I will give away one of my staff mats. You heard it here. Forget it. 500 people plus. Because we've never had a 500-person tournament.
Yeah, because we normally cap our events. So this will be huge.
Yeah, so let's do that for the qualifier. That's a big time. I know it's December 30th, but I picked that day as right before New Year's. People done with their Christmas stuff. I mean, now we can play live on our phone.
And since it's that late, I'll give out something off the LAIC competitor kit as well.
Boom. You heard it here. I'll have to mark it down, put it in this video when I clip it, because I also got a clip where Tim was in here, and now he's not.
Yeah, it's just going to be filled with a picture right there.
But, yeah, apologize for the videos going in and out while we were moving screens. Because we had Tim jump in, and I didn't jump out of the same channel we were in, it kind of left that blank spot there. But that's what we love about our channel. It's raw. It's real. Tim said he wanted to show off his ambassador kit. He actually really waited to show it off on Twitter until he showed it with the bros. So I'm glad that he did, and we could also share that with you guys. I don't know if I've really got anything else, Tiger. I think that's
going to be it for us. We're going to go to locals tonight.
Yeah.
Sean's going to have some fun playing spicy ghost pepper cheese.
Yeah, just before I make the final change and start repping one other deck out, I figure I have one more day to just play fun. I've been playing the crap out of Cerulege. I was messing around with Dragapult, playing it like Cerulege. I was like, I can get rid of this. I'm like, stop. Because I've been playing get rid of everything so fast that I've had to switch my brain. But Goldango Ghost will be fun. And I get to show it off to the locals because we were talking it up last time we were down there.
For anybody that wasn't sure, I did day 2 with it in Monterey. You can go find that list there if you wanted to see what it was that we were playing at that point. Now things have evolved since then because Mega is out now. So it's not, if we were to play that, it's not the same.
It's not the best call right now. So if you go to build that, just understand you're playing that for fun.
If you were to play Dango right now, I would suggest people playing the Togekiss version again. I know everybody's on the Soul Rock Dango BS, but Pokemon are too big at this moment. You are not chucking through, and you're burning too much time doing 24 actions to get all those fighting energies out.
That was my biggest beef when I played it when we were first testing it. But that's something we can bring into the next episode. We'll go over the differences in Dango.
the different types of Dango and the the egregious amounts of Guardy.
But all right, guys, from the Gold Dang Bros down here in South Carolina, stay lucky.
Stay lucky.